Hey everybody, thanks for taking a minute to watch this video or listen to this podcast. What I want to talk about today is how much I hate the job search process. It was demeaning, it's discouraging, you feel helpless, you feel hopeless, and it used to take me 6 months to find a job. You're sending out resumes, you're talking to people, and everybody has advice, and there's a lot of really good advice out there. But then the last time I had to look for a job, this was several years ago, I discovered something that made all the difference. It cut that 6 months down to 1 month. And I had the job that I wanted at the offer that I wanted and in the time frame that I was hoping for. And let me tell you what this is. It's creating content. What I want to talk about today is my number one tip for getting a marketing job. Number one tip for getting selected out of all of the people that they are interviewing for that position. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I hadn't thought about this advice in a while because I haven't looked for a job in a long time. But this friend was unhappy with her current situation, and she is trying to figure out what her next chapter is. And how do it's been a while since she's looked for a job as well. What does that look like, how to do this quickly, how to stand out among an increasingly crowded field of potential marketing candidates out there. So if that's you, if you're not that happy with your current position, you're at the beginning of your job search, you're thinking about making a change, or you're in the thick of it today, this advice is for you. And that is create content. Not just any content, but you're going to start creating content. Marketers, they have created content for decades, and then when they get into the job search, it's gone out. They stop creating content when, in fact, content is how they've gotten found. They've driven traffic, they've driven awareness and interest and leads and sales. And then when you get into the job search, all of a sudden you forget that same principle applies in attracting people to you, getting them to share your information, getting them to engage you. It all starts with content. And so if you're in the job search mode or thinking about getting into the job search mode, pay attention. So you're going to create once a week, minimum, twice a week ideally. You're going to create a blog post, 800 to 1,500 words. You're going to create a podcast if you're more inclined to record something like this, or a video series, or if you don't have your own platform, video series works great because you can publish it on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Also LinkedIn articles. If you don't have your own blog, publish LinkedIn articles. And these articles are going to convey actionable plans to solve the specific problems that you're going to be asked to solve in your target positions. Now let me unpack that. This starts with researching your target position. What are those things that people are hiring you or hiring a candidate to solve? Do we not have enough leads today? Did we just get funding and we need to scale up our sales? What are those things that specific jobs want? So you want to look at job descriptions in your area as well as across the country. If you're looking for a director of marketing position, you want to figure out for your target positions as well as just in general, what are the things that directors of marketing are asked to do? If you're going to be the paid traffic manager at a company, you need to understand what are the things, what are you going to be responsible for? What problem are they hiring you to solve? And you're going to create content that explains your approach step by step in as much detail and accuracy as possible to solving that. Now, this is going to cause you to do some research. And if you're going to create a blog article on how you're going, the 6 best ways to generate leads in the legal industry, because that's the industry you want to get into and that's the role that you're going to be tasked with fulfilling, then it may take some research, but that's a good thing because you're going to be more prepared for that interview. Now, there's 4 reasons that we do this. The first is it does make you think through the responses and likely scenarios and challenges that you're going to be asked about during the interview process. So you're going to come more prepared. You're going to be able to say, great question. I actually wrote an article about this a couple weeks ago. Let me make sure I share it with you. I walk through my exact 4-step framework for getting that done. That puts you head and shoulders above anything that they've experienced. In fact, you're going to have more confidence going into your interview because the people you're interviewing with, the likelihood is they haven't published content. They haven't put themselves out there. They haven't thought this through. So it's not going to be, most interviews are awful because it's somebody who has all the power talking down to you who doesn't have any power. It puts you on more of an equal playing field because you've done so much more thinking around this and formulating actual plans to get this done. So it helps you think through those responses to the scenarios and the challenges that you're going to be asked about when you're interviewing for a specific position. It also makes you stand out among the other candidates. Imagine this. You're up against 4 candidates. Each one has a resume. Each one went through an interview. But you're the only one that has 25 articles addressing the exact goals and problems that you're being asked to solve in this position. Who stands out when there's videos and articles and not just fluff articles, but in-depth actionable articles addressing the things that they are hiring somebody to address? They are going to be knocking at your door to hire you. They're going to be knocking down your door to hire you. All right, so it's also a great follow-up asset. Interviews are hard. It's a performance. You don't always get things out the way that you want to. So if there's something you didn't get a chance to talk about during an interview or something that you thought you fumbled during the interview, this is your opportunity to go home and record a video or write a blog post outlining exactly how you would like to have answered that. And then you follow up that day or the next day, say, thanks for having me in. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but I wanted to get in front of you my process for solving this other part of the job that we didn't even talk about during the interview. Or it was great talking to you about, how we're going to use, Facebook groups to grow our organic lead generation. Let me, here's a supporting article, or here's my process to getting this off the ground. And you just write that out because it's not sometimes you don't get things out the way that you want to get them out in an interview. So this content is a great follow-up piece. You don't even have to write it on the fly. You may have written it for another interview or at another time. And then lastly, the social proof that comes with creating content and publishing content and sharing content gives the people making the hiring decision cover and confidence in selecting you. They see that 12 other people have shared this article and 3 people have commented on this video. They see that and it says, okay, I'm not crazy for wanting to hire this person. Other people believe this person is an authority. And so that inherently will validate you as a candidate and give them the confidence to make you an offer. So if you're looking for a job or unhappy in your current position, the best advice that I can give you is to start creating content. You don't want to start creating the day you have an interview. You need to start a couple weeks ahead of time. Because if you start the day you have an interview, you have a long night ahead of you to get 5 articles, 10 articles, things that matter. So start now. Start thinking about this. It'll also help you figure out what you enjoy doing and don't enjoy doing. But start creating now so that when you do get that interview and you do have to send in your resume, you have a library of thought leadership that you can send your potential employer. And that's just going to make you stand out from the beginning, give you more confidence and clarity going into your interviews, and then give you assets to follow up with that have social proof built into them so that you get that offer faster, you get selected faster, and you get into a situation that you want to be in faster. If you want more tips like this or you want to talk about this, let's start a discussion in the Small Marketing Team Secrets Facebook group. You can go to smallmarketingteams.com/community to get into the Facebook group, or you can just look on Facebook. This is something that I'm very passionate about because I don't like it when people who I care about or people in my network aren't in the positions that are making them happy. I've been there and it's awful. And what's even worse is when you're in between jobs. You know, the stress in your life is tremendous. So I'd like to help you, and so let's get into a discussion. Hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you online.